There is a way that seems right to a person, but its end is the way to death. This timeless wisdom from Proverbs 14:12 speaks directly to our human tendency to trust our own judgment above all else. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you been absolutely certain about something, only to discover later you were completely wrong? We all walk paths that seem perfectly logical and right to us. We justify our choices, convinced we're heading in the right direction, only to find ourselves at destinations we never intended to reach. This proverb isn't suggesting we should doubt every decision we make. Rather, it's a gentle reminder about the limitations of human perception. Our understanding is incomplete. Our wisdom is flawed. What seems perfectly reasonable through our limited lens might actually lead to harmful outcomes. In practical terms, this scripture can transform our daily lives in several meaningful ways. First, it encourages humility. When we acknowledge that our perspective might be limited or flawed, we become more open to guidance and correction. This humility creates space for growth and learning that pride simply cannot allow. Second, this verse invites us to seek wisdom beyond ourselves. If our own perception can be misleading, wouldn't it be wise to consult trusted friends, mentors, or spiritual teachings before making significant decisions? By incorporating multiple perspectives, we gain a more complete picture and avoid the pitfalls of isolated thinking.
Third, this proverb teaches us to examine our motivations carefully. Sometimes the path that seems right is actually the path of least resistance, or the one that satisfies our immediate desires, rather than serving our long-term well-being. By questioning our initial impulses, we can discover whether we're being guided by wisdom or merely by convenience or self-interest. Consider how this might apply in your relationships. Perhaps there's a situation where speaking your mind seems absolutely right. You have facts on your side, after all. But wisdom might suggest that patience and understanding would preserve the relationship rather than winning the argument. Or think about your career choices. A path might seem right because it offers financial security or status, but could ultimately lead to spiritual or emotional emptiness if it doesn't align with your deeper values and purpose. This proverb also speaks to our moral choices. Many destructive behaviors begin with seemingly small compromises that appear harmless at first. The path seems right, or at least justified, but step by step, it leads away from life and toward various forms of death, whether that's the death of integrity, relationships, or spiritual vitality. So, how do we apply this wisdom practically? Start by developing the habit of pausing before making decisions. In that pause, ask yourself, why does this seem right to me? Is there another perspective I should consider? What might be the long-term consequences of this choice? Practice seeking counsel from those who have demonstrated wisdom in their own lives. Remember that wisdom often comes through community rather than isolation. The people who know you well can sometimes see your blind spots better than you can.
And finally, measure your choices against timeless principles, rather than simply what feels right in the moment. Truth has a consistency that our feelings often lack. The beauty of this proverb is that it doesn't leave us paralyzed by indecision. Instead, it invites us into a more reflective, intentional way of living, one where we acknowledge our limitations while actively seeking greater wisdom. By doing so, we can avoid many pitfalls and discover paths that lead not to destruction, but to life in its fullest sense.